All right, so this deep dive we're doing, it's on sound mastering engineers.
Mhm.
And I gotta say, at first, I kind of thought, sound mastering engineer, what even is that? Like, it seems super niche, all techie and behind the scenes.
Right.
But then I started digging into this stuff from RoleCatcher.com, and wow,
Yeah.
it's like the secret sauce of music production. Seriously, it's not just about the recording, it's what comes after that,
Everything.
apparently.
Yeah.
So are you ready to, like, make some noise and get into this?
I am. I am. It's funny because you're right. It is this kind of mysterious field.
Totally.
But once you get it, like once you understand what mastering is all about, you can't unhear it. You hear music differently.
I'm already at that point just reading through this stuff. I'm like, wait, so that's why that song, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
So RoleCatcher, they call mastering the final polish.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and they're not kidding. Like, it's taking those tracks, after they're recorded and making sure they sound amazing everywhere. On your phone, in your car, on a crazy expensive sound system.
That's it. That's it. It's about consistency and making sure that that track, that song, sounds the best it possibly can on whatever system you're listening to. Whether it's, like you said, a tiny little speaker
Yeah.
or, a massive high-end setup.
I never even, like, thought about all that. I just figured if a song was recorded in a good studio, that was it, done.
Right. No, that's a really common misconception. Recording is just step one, really. The foundation,
Oh,
Mastering is where you take those raw recordings and you shape them, you polish them, you make sure everything fits together and creates this whole cohesive sound.
huh. So they're like, what, audio surgeons? But instead of scalpels, they've got, what are all those tools?
It's a good way to think about it. Like, imagine an artist's palette, but for sound.
Okay, I like that.
So there's EQ, which is all about fine-tuning the tone. Like, you can boost the bass or make the vocals super crisp and clear.
Right.
And then there's compression. That helps even out the volume so the quiet parts don't disappear and the loud parts don't, blow out your speakers.
Makes sense.
And then, to finalize everything, you've got limiting. It's like the final volume boost, making it loud without making it sound distorted.
Whoa. See, this is what I mean. Way more technical than I ever realized.
Yeah, it's definitely technical, but there's a huge creative side, too.
Oh, right, because RoleCatcher mentioned that, working with the artists and everything.
Exactly. It's not just about making things loud. It's about making them sound right. Capturing the artist's vision for the song.
Man, that must be such a cool dynamic. Because, like, think of all the different kinds of music out there. Mastering for, like, a hip-hop track can't be the same as mastering a classical orchestra, right?
You're absolutely right. It's incredibly diverse. Every genre, every instrument even, has its own kind of sonic personality.
Totally.
And mastering for vinyl, that's a whole other world. There are so many technical things to consider there.
See, there's that secret language again. It's like mastering engineers. They hear things on a whole other level.
You really do. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. And that's what makes this whole career path so fascinating.
Yeah.
You need that technical side, but you need the artistry too. You're not just like a button pusher.
Right.
You're collaborating. You're helping the artist actually get that music out there.
And speaking of, like, the path itself, RoleCatcher lays it all out there. It's kind of like leveling up in a video game, honestly.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It is. It's like you start as the assistant, right? Learning the ropes. And then you work your way up. Junior engineer, senior engineer.
Yeah. And it's so cool how RoleCatcher gives those little, like, profiles of people at each level.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
So you can see, okay, what does a day actually look like? The kind of projects, the software, even the challenges.
Exactly. You see what they're actually doing day to day and the skills they need.
Mhm.
Like a junior engineer, they might be doing a lot of like the editing, restoration work, that kind of thing.
Right, right.
And then as you get more senior, you're taking the lead on projects, working with, big time artists, producers, shaping the whole sound.
Okay, see, that's where I'd be freaking out, I think.
Right.
Speaking of freaking out, did you see those interview questions RoleCatcher put in there?
Oh, yeah. Those were intense.
And intense. Like, clearly, you need to know your stuff.
You can't just love music. You got to live audio engineering, all the principles and everything.
Totally. There was one about audio formats, and I was like, okay, I thought I knew a little something about this. Nope.
It's a whole other level.
It is. Good thing they give you some tips for how to answer them.
Right. They do.
Because, some of those were stumpers. They talked about portfolios a lot, too.
Yeah, the portfolio is key. You got to be able to show your work,
Right, because anyone can say they're passionate.
Exactly.
But to actually have the chops, that's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even beyond the technical stuff, they made a big point about communication.
Oh, yeah, like working with the artists, right.
More than that, even. You got to be able to talk to producers, other audio people, the client,
Makes sense.
understand what they want, explain things clearly. It's a team effort, really.
So it's like you're a sonic therapist almost,
Yeah.
helping everyone get on the same page.
Uh-huh. I like that. It's a good way to think about it.
But okay, let's get real for a second. RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat it. This is
For me.
work hours, deadlines. Like, what's the work-life balance really like?
Okay, so yeah, demanding is putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Music industry especially, things move fast. Deadlines are tight.
Uh-huh.
So especially when you're first starting out, yeah, you're going to be pulling some late nights, maybe doing some weekend work.
That tracks. But
Yeah.
they did talk about remote work becoming a bigger thing.
Yeah, for sure. Technology's really changed things. A lot of mastering engineers are working from their own studios now,
Oh, that's cool.
which, for some people, that's better work-life balance right there. But even still.
It's not like you're slacking off just because you're at home.
Exactly. You're still meeting those deadlines, dealing with clients, always got to be learning and getting better. The core of the job's the same.
Okay, so not like work from the beach mastering engineer.
Not quite. Dedication, discipline, those are key, no matter what.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And this actually ties into something else RoleCatcher was saying about self-care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Super important,
Hmm.
especially taking care of your hearing.
Right. I mean, wow, all that sound all the time.
Exactly. It takes a toll. Your hearing is like your most important tool in this line of work.
Absolutely. So what do they suggest for protecting it then? So to actually protect your hearing, what are they saying? Like, what do you actually do?
Well, for one thing, using good quality studio monitors, that's huge.
Okay, yeah.
But it's more than just that. It's about listening at a safe level,
Yeah.
not cranking it up all the way.
Right. Pace yourself.
Exactly. Think of it like, I don't know, a marathon runner or something.
Okay, I like that.
You don't want to go full speed right out the gate.
Burn out your ears in the first mile. Yeah.
Exactly. Got to make it to the finish line.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about some of the like upsides and downsides, but let's hit that pros and cons section for real,
Okay, yeah.
because that's always where the good stuff is. So what does RoleCatcher say, like, the best and worst parts of this whole career are?
Well, on the plus side, big time, the demand.
Yeah.
Skilled mastering engineers, they're in high demand right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
All the music out there, streaming, all that. Someone's got to make it sound good.
It's true. So, like, job security is probably pretty good then.
You could say that. It's
Right.
competitive, definitely. But if you're good, there's work out there.
Okay, but everyone always wants to know about the money.
Right.
So spill the tea. What are we talking salary-wise?
Okay, so RoleCatcher, they kind of dance around it.
They always do?
They do. But they do say potential for high earnings, especially if you build a good reputation.
Okay, so not like instant millionaire.
Probably not, no.
Hmm.
But the more experience you get, the better clients you get.
Yeah.
The more specialized you get.
Right.
You could definitely make a good living.
That makes sense. But I mean, it's not all about the paycheck, right? What about the creative side of things?
Oh, absolutely. For a lot of mastering engineers, that's the real reward,
Mhm.
being part of that process, helping bring music to life.
That's so cool.
It is. You're working with artists you admire on music you love,
Yeah.
and you get to put your own little mark on it, your sonic fingerprint.
Man, I love that part of this. It's not just technical, it's art. But okay, last thing, because RoleCatcher keeps it 100.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the long hours, all that. Any other, like, downsides they point out? Things to watch out for?
Well, we talked about the competition, right?
Okay.
That can be tough, especially when you're first starting out. Getting those clients, building your name, it takes time.
Yeah, it's like you're running your own business almost.
In a way, you are. You're marketing yourself, networking.
Huh, okay. So not for the faint of heart, this whole thing.
Not really, no. But if you're truly passionate about sound, if you can handle the pressure, if you really geek out on this stuff,
Maybe this is your dream job then.
it just might be. And the cool thing is, technology is always changing.
Right.
So who knows what the future holds? Podcasts, audiobooks, video games, even VR. They all need good audio.
It's true. Mastering's going to be everywhere.
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be in this field, that's for sure.
It really does seem like it. Wow, okay. You have given us a lot to think about.
My pleasure. I'm always happy to nerd out about mastering.
And for everyone listening, we hope you're just as fascinated by this world of sound as we are now. It's amazing what goes on behind the music we love, right? So next time you're listening to your favorite song, take a second and appreciate the mastering engineer who made it sound so good. Until next time, keep those ears tuned, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.